Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Welcome.
My
back.
name is Franklin.
My name is Mary.
Yes, and we are the Franklins.
Yeah.
We just want to appreciate everyone who has supported us of recent. We just recently started our skit adventures, and you guys have really supported us, and we are really grateful on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Like, support has really been overwhelming. Thank you for being a part of the family. Thank you for supporting everything that we do. We are truly grateful.
So today, guys, we're going to be discussing a crucial topic from the skit that we made last. And the topic we're going to be discussing today is how lack of attention can cause division in the home and can create room for the enemy to attack the home, to attack the husband and the wife, to cause, quarrels and arguments. So that's what we're going to be discussing on today's video.
Yes, so after the break, we are going to start this discussion. So don't change it up.
Wait. Hello, guys. Welcome back. So today we're going to be discussing how lack of attention causes division in the home. And before we move ahead, I would like us to have an understanding of what is lack of attention.
Yeah. So lack of attention can be defined as one of either parties in a married relationship not giving energy, time, and resources to the things that are his responsibility or her responsibility. For example, if I'm a husband, right, and I'm too busy with doing something external and my family is suffering, that's your lack of attention. Yes.
So there are some other things that can cause lack of attention in a home, that can cause lack of attention between partners. And we're going to be looking at those things. The first thing that can cause lack of attention is familiarity. And I would like you to talk about it. What is it?
Yeah. Well, familiarity is a situation whereby the couple come to know their ins and outs. For example, for us, when we just got married, right, there were limitations to what we knew about ourselves before we got married. But the moment we got married, I started seeing some of your flaws. And you started seeing some of my flaws. And so we became familiar with each other. They call it see finish in teaching. Right? So we kind of saw each other in and out. And when you see people completely like that, there's that tendency to downplay them or look at them lesser than how you tell them. Because there's nobody that doesn't have secret life. Everybody has a secret life to an extent. And as in that they are not telling you, no matter how good they appear on the surface, there is always that one thing about them that needs to be fixed or that they need to improve upon. So coming into a relationship, a marriage relationship will teach you that familiarity doesn't necessarily mean that you should devalue the person that you have married, because that's a mistake that a lot of couples make. They see somebody and they see the extras. They don't expect that this person might be extra in some area, and when they get into the relationship, they now see these extras and they are now disappointed.
Yeah, and the thing about that familiarity is that most of the time it is not planned, it is not intended, because they come into the marriage with an expectation. There's a way that they've seen their spouse before they got married, and they just have that thing in their head that it should just continue that way, and they come into the marriage and start saying some things, that they did not see earlier, and it becomes like what is happening, and they tend to want to because of that, devalue the
married. And then another thing is that we see a lot of celebrities, a lot of beautiful couple goals now. You see them, they have everything all look as if it's fixed up. And it's like, why is my own different? Why is it that this man that I married and I expected that he will be all that? He's just one person that I didn't expect him to be. So one advice that I want us to give to those people who are going into marriage is, don't go into marriage with high expectations, because the person you are marrying is a human being, and human beings are flawed naturally. So another reason for lack of attention in the home is conflict. Yes, so this can actually stem from familiarity. When you are familiar with somebody, there's that tendency to disrespect them. There's that tendency to act towards them in ways that are not consistent with what God expects from you.
Conflict, is just disagreement between two parties, between the husband and the wife. And where there is disagreement, what happens in disagreement is that the both of them are now looking at themselves in a different way. They're not viewing themselves with a different eye, because they had some expectations, but due to the disagreement that they have, they're seeing themselves differently, and this disagreement is causing a division between the husband and the wife. So conflict is one of the major reasons of lack of attention.
Yes, another thing that can cause lack of attention is work. Yes, as necessary as work is, it can cause lack of attention. I know a lot of men who don't have time, to even be intimate with their wives.
Let's just bring it home. I can remember when we got married recently, we had a challenge. We are not yet to tell you something that we've not experienced.
Yes, these issues occur all the time, where the man, has a job that requires a lot of his time, right? Whenever, we have people doing that, there is bound to be lack of attention. The truth is, nobody external will come and build your home for you. If you are married people, you have to invest your time and energy into building your home. So for a man who is really very busy, right, and leaves all the responsibilities to the wife will try. She will try to, groom the child. She will try to discipline the child, but it cannot replace the role of the man. That's one thing that we need to understand and establish in our heart. If you're a man and you're giving the excuse that, hey, you are too busy, you are this, that the wife should handle everything, you need to understand that there is a grace upon your life to also nurture a particular area of the child that God has given you both. So you have to make yourself available. Even if it means sometimes actually taking an excuse from your office just to be with your family, you can do that.
Some men feel that, being the head of the home is just to show authority, but just to be in control of some things. No, being the head of the home is that you are responsible for everything that happens in your home. You're a covering. You are a head, not just physically, but also spiritually. You are a head.
Talking about spiritually, right? I was into Uncle Allison's message, and I was talking about how men are actually priests of their homes, right? And how many men are actually failing in their responsibilities of priesthood in their homes. You know what a priest does? A priest actually intercedes on behalf of the rest of the congregation. So when they sin, when they default, when they do anything, they are the ones that takes the lamb, sacrifices it on behalf of the general house. So your home, I'll call the husband or the men, I'll call them the chief sacrificial officers of their home. So even if your work is really stressful, you have to be ready for more stress. Because you are the priest of your home. And then there are some days we know that you're human. The wife is a human, the husband is a human, and there are some days that you might not feel up to it. This is where the unity of the family will be expressed. But there are some days I'm 30%. There are some days you are 100. There are some days I'm 50%. Some days you are 30, right? It is the merging of our energies at time that will make for the progress and the success of our homes. So we have to still be understanding, in spite of the fact that we want everybody to play their roles. There are some days that, I might just be down.
Yeah.
And I might just need from my wife would just be one encouraging word, or just something to, tell me that I'm trying, or, people are like that, right? So we need to be sensitive to understand that these times will come, and react rightly during these times.
The Bible has made the husband and the wife to be one in one in body, one in spirit, and one in soul. That this person understands what this other person is going through, and they are working in together to fulfill a mission, to fulfill a purpose. I'll read from 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, and it says, "Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered."
Yes.
So this is specifically to the men. This is the instruction that God, has given to the husband.
I want to specifically talk about the aspect of the weaker vessels. Scripture called the wife the weaker vessel. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the wife is weaker in terms of what they can bear, because women technically can bear more when it comes to childbirth, when it comes to even emotional trauma. Many times we think men are more powerful. It's just the physical strength.
Sometimes when they even give little of what the women are carrying, the men want.
I'm telling you, my wife always says that she wishes that sometimes, pregnancy, the men will get pregnant and feel the pain of childbirth just a little, so that they will know that it's a really very challenging journey for any woman that is giving birth. Now, that aside,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Women as weaker vessels here, called weaker vessels by Apostle Paul, tells us that the man actually has more responsibility. Technically, this scripture is basically telling us that men will need to wake up to certain things. If you're a man here and you're living below certain standards, because God has given us a standard, right? He has asked us to dwell with them according to knowledge. According to the knowledge of what? First, the knowledge of the woman that you are marrying. Yes. Second, the knowledge of his will for your marriage. So there are certain things that men do, right? Outside knowledge. There are many things that men, you see a man beating his wife, he's not dwelling with her according to knowledge. You see a man, being away for long periods of time. Yes, some people have different jobs, right? And, there is that responsibility. I know that there is that responsibility of the man to, work and provide for family and all that. But there has to be sacrifice. Just like I mentioned earlier, that sometimes as a man, leave the work just so that you can make time for your family, because nobody will bring up your family for you. You are the priest of your home, so it's important for you to be available. Dwell with your wife according to knowledge.
And the last part talk about so that the prayers
be not hindered.
Because if you're not dwelling with your wife according to knowledge and as a weaker vessel, and how the scripture has put it, your prayers as a man will be hindered. It is just scripture.
Yes. Basically what actually even avails us of all our supernatural graces in marriage is predicated on following the principles of God's word in our marriage.
Sure.
The moment you break those principles and break the laws of God, God is not indebted to you in any way to fulfill anything in your marriage. So it's important that men understand the importance, and even women too, understand the importance of patterning their marriages and the way they deal with each other. Sometimes it could be as simple as even talking to one another with respect. There are many things that we have learned, and we are still learning about talking to each other with respect. You see, the way you speak to your husband, it still matters, because men are naturally egoistic in nature. The moment you have a woman say certain things to them, that waters down that ego. And at the end of the day, the person that is supposed to be a king in the home will now become less than what God has destined him to be. So it's important that we know ourselves as a couple according to God's knowledge of us. One area that men need to be available and women need to be available is spiritual availability. You might not be available all the time physically, but it's important to always be available spiritually. There are many stories of, people being sensitive in the spirit when something terrible wants to happen. And because you were sensitive, your home is saved because of that.
And you
right?
cannot be available spiritually to cover your fault, to stand as an authority in your home if you're not connected to your partner.
Another area that we must be available in is the mental areas. For example, some men like us, sometimes we leave all the brain work to our wives. We leave all the mental strain. Plan this thing out now. I do it, not my thing. We say all of that, and it looks as if it's the norm. Let her do the calculation. Let her. But it's dangerous. It's actually dangerous to let one party only be involved mentally. As a man, there are certain things that you are able to discern mentally that your wife might not be able to. So it's important to be available in your home mentally.
Where you guys need to, plan on something. It is not the duty of the wife alone. So when she brings it to you, when she brings that subject to you, be available to her, give her that time, give her that attention, and you guys should discuss this thing so that, there can be better planning.
I actually see some, husbands or some wives go ahead of their partners and, make decisions. And then at the end of the day, that will cause conflict. And then maybe after the conflict, they become unavailable to each other. That is the plan of the devil. The goal of the devil is to create loopholes and avenues so that you guys can quarrel and then begin to get distance, because that is the easiest way he can strike. So another area where you need to be available for your spouse is emotional availability. I noticed that a lot of couples are emotionally unavailable. And I think one thing that causes this emotional availability is that familiarity. You guys you've seen each other, you've been intimate several times, so it's not a big deal to you anymore. Then you just distance yourself.
And sometimes it can be pressure, it can be work. It's not like they don't want to be emotionally available for their spouse, but the work pressure is hitting them, the finance pressure is hitting them, and every other aspect, every other pressure for the women, taking care of the home, taking care of the son or the child, those kind of pressure is hitting on them. This can make them to be unavailable to their spouse.
Exactly. So we must, as a family, thwart the plan of the enemy. The goal of the enemy is to make you spiritually unavailable. The goal of the enemy is to make you mentally unavailable. The goal of the enemy is to make you emotionally unavailable. We are not ignorant of the devices of the enemy. So you have to sit up in all of these areas. Maybe you're a young couple listening to us, or you're somebody who is about to go into marriage. Don't leave any loopholes. The moment you begin to leave emotional loopholes, you begin to leave, spiritual loopholes, you begin to leave mental loopholes, the enemy will find its way somehow into the home. We just pray that the Lord will give us the grace, to navigate, this road of marriage successfully. It's really appalling, and we must be careful, because this is what the devil wants to use to destroy our homes.
So guys, thank you guys for watching this video.
We hope you were blessed.
Yes, we hope you've been blessed with our video. And please, if you are yet to subscribe, subscription is free. Just click the notification button and click that red button also. And that area we're going to be looking at is emotional availability towards your spouse. Are you there emotionally with them, or you are somewhere else? That is the question. Are you there emotionally, or you're somewhere else? Why are you looking at me like that?
What do you want to see? Are you there? Say something like, don't ever that. Are you feeling guilty? Say something about the women of the
And then talking me the And then you just there.
Leave me alone.
You just like
Now the wonder where they go with the thing because just they go round.